Warning, the video you're about to see may make you want to get a chameleon. My advice? Absolutely go for it. Do your research, but these little creatures will amaze you. This is what my closet used to look like. It had sliding doors that always popped off the rails. Until one day I got fed up and I decided I didn't need them anymore. This is my office, and although it may look like a teenager's room, it is also where I do a lot of my work. If I want to transform a good portion of it into a little piece of the rainforest, nothing is going to stop me. Well, maybe my wife. But fortunately for me, she was totally on board with the idea, and we both really love chameleons, so I got to work. The first step requires a good plan. I took a couple days and really roughed out a few different ideas that I liked. Then, using my limited construction skills, I attached a base and I polyed around the outside in order to kind of create a vapor barrier. The last thing I want is for mold to grow or for there to be water damage behind the scenes. I even polyed the ceiling so that no water would get up there either. I found this huge pile of laminate flooring that someone was just throwing out, so I decided to use it. It's not probably the best option because it's laminate. You should go for vinyl because it's more waterproof, but since it was free and it looked really nice, I figured that I could create a strong enough bond and barrier that water would not seep in and cause rot. I'm using a circular saw to do all my cuts for this kind of stuff, but I'm doing it in my basement since it's cold outside, so I've wrapped my shirt around my ears so that it deafens some of the sound. I'm using a silicone sealant in order to prevent any water from getting into the cracks. And I actually do it 3 different times. I let it dry and then I seal it again, and then I let it dry and I seal it again. This project is actually over a course of about 7 days, so I'm just speeding it up for you guys. I bought a few packs of bamboo sticks, which I cut and then I glued to the outside border. This border is actually just one big piece of particle board that I adhere to the outside so that it would be absolutely perfect, a perfect fit. And then by cutting the inside out of it, I could create a frame for my screen so it fits perfectly inside. Now it's absolutely crucial to get the water away from the front and down this back tube. So I've angled it so that the water will drip backwards. I've used a marble to test it, and then I even poured some water on it to test it as well so that there's no leakage. Now I had an idea from the very beginning to create this really long ladder out of bamboo that would fit perfectly along the back side, and I think it really worked out nicely. This old cedar log was actually from my backyard. I took it in and then I used my air compressor and blew out all the dirt and made sure that it was really clean. I also took it from my backyard when it was like minus 19 degrees outside Celsius, so any kind of bacteria I would think was probably killed off, but just to be sure, I went over it and made sure that it was totally clear, or as clear as I possibly could. Okay, I can't wait to show you guys the finale here. So on my left, on the top left, I have a fogging machine, which is just a cool mister, a humidifier, and I have a contraption that's a dripping system that I created myself. I haven't talked about how I did it because it's actually leaking a tiny bit, so I don't want to recommend the way I did it just yet. I'm going to tweak it a little bit further. I also have the water feature dripping from the top metal basin. It fills up and then it cascades down. Once it fills, it drips down onto a piece of bamboo, and it drips through the bamboo and then fills up the lower tier, the lower metal contraption. which I have also drilled a hole in. And then that just drips right into a container that I can empty separately. And that way it just prevents having to have a bunch of water sitting on the base. As you can see, there's lots of different foliage. Everything I've used in here is live plants, and I'm really trying to keep any kind of plastic to a minimum, because I just feel like the more natural it is, the healthier it is for the chameleon. Okay, everybody, so we have a new little creature in our house. Without further ado, we're gonna introduce you to our new family member. Good job today, little buddy. Give me a high five. Yeah! More videos to come. Stay tuned.